Ooh, this one looks really cool.
Who is the Shadow? Only the Shadow knows.
Hey Shadow, do you know who you are? Yes.
The year 1930. The Great Depression has people down on their luck, but at least no one is hoarding that splinter-free toilet paper. As you sit around the radio and watch its light, you can catch The Shadow, brought to you by Blue Coal. Boy, Johnny, look at that blue coal go. A toasty home is a cozy home. So remember to talk to your blue coal dealer and get the best burning coal.
The Shadow began his life in the radio dramas of the 1930s. He was portrayed by James LaCourteau, then Frank Reddick, and later on Orson Welles, or as many of you might know him as Citizen Kane or Unicron.
A rich, full-bodied wine, sensibly priced at $1 a jug. And now for a little magic, I will make this jug disappear.
Eventually, the Shadow would be in the comics and film serials. He was even teamed up with the Dark Knight himself. The Shadow was in a story where he saved a young Bruce Wayne. He kind of reminds me of the Grey Ghost. Or should I say, the Grey Ghost reminds me of the Shadow. There is very little antique merchandise for the Shadow. Mainly this Shadow glow-in-the-dark ring,
brought to you by Blue Coal.
Then there's some merchandise online from the 70s, which includes a tin car, plane, and even the channel Brick Mantooth reviewed a Shadow utility belt. The Shadow has a few films, 1931 through 1932 film shorts, the 1937's The Shadow Strikes, 1938 International Crime, 1940's The Shadow, 1946's The Shadow Returns, and 1958's Invisible Avenger. I really like the 1940s Shadow serials.
I am the Shadow.
The Thundercab even makes an appearance. These days, the Shadow is mainly remembered for the 1994 movie starring Peter Boyle, Jonathan Winters, Tim Curry, Ian McKellen, and Alec Baldwin as the Shadow. The Shadow was a flop. Not because it was a bad movie, it actually was very well done, with the merch for the film and even a fan club. And finally, Ocean had developed a Super Nintendo game for the Shadow movie. It was never released because of the box office numbers, but the prototype has been found and dumped. You can play it on an emulator. This is a traditional beat-em-up that follows the movie very well. You can tell that it's a prototype because some of the hit detection is a little bit off, but it could be tweaked to make the game great. Obviously, as a beat-em-up, the main gameplay is walking around and beating up thugs. At times, in most levels, there's a gun part, where the Shadow will pull out his twin .45s and shoot at armed thugs. The gun seems to fire pretty slow, but to get around getting hit, you just gotta keep moving. There is one more gameplay mode, the motorcycle chase. This only happens once in the game. The end of the game is just a photo of the Shadow and Shiwon Khan with words over it. Again, it's a prototype, so maybe this would have been better in the final version. The Shadow is a very cool character, and hopefully we'll see him come back. The Shadow is 90 years old. Who knows if he could relate to the population of today? The Shadow knows.